Hello, my name is Teran Johnson, and I'm a sports broadcaster, public address announcer, and sports talk show host. What you are going to hear is a sample of some of my most recent work.
If you had to list a trap game, Teran, what would you say?
Number 1, A&M. Number 2, A&M. Number 3, A&M. Texas A&M.
I'm with you 100%.
That is the one trap game. Obviously, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. The weekend right before Alabama, if Tennessee beats Florida and Georgia, we've talked about the scenario where Tennessee beats Florida and Georgia. Obviously, they're looking forward to Alabama, probably undefeated at that point in time. Man, do not overlook A&M this year. The more that we really, I don't know about you, Cody, the more I really delve into A&M's roster, especially that offense and the wide receiver core.
Great D-line.
Yeah, D-line as well. The higher I am on them, the more that I think that, maybe not on a national level, but as far as the SEC West goes, they could be a dark horse there. Or they could upset, Alabama or LSU, take down one of those guys, just be sort of a spoiler down the stretch. And I think they could play that way versus Tennessee as well. So don't overlook A&M, because I think that Tennessee, obviously, they have a chip on their shoulder versus Florida. Now I think they do with Georgia, with putting the linebacker that broke Shy Tuttle's leg on the ticket. I think that there's a little bulletin board material there. Alabama, speaks for itself, that rivalry. A&M's really the one team where Tennessee is going to have to make sure that they are still focused. And, going down to Kyle Field, man, that is no easy task. So trap game number 1 right there. LeBron had a vintage LeBron performance last night. Took us back to the glory days of his first time in Cleveland when he had all those great performances in Eastern Conference semifinals and finals versus the Celtics once he got over that hump, and then again in the finals. Obviously wasn't able to bring a championship back to his hometown, but still had great performances during his first time in Cleveland, and even a few vintage LeBron performances while in Miami. We have not seen that so far in the second stint with Cleveland. Last year he put up insane numbers, but he was taking a lot of shots. Last night was as efficient as we've seen LeBron in a long, long time. As you mentioned, 41 points on 16 of 30 from the field. But the big thing that I was looking at, Cody, 4 of 8 from 3. It's no surprise that LeBron isn't exactly the best jump shooter that you'll ever see. That's actually a facet of his game that he struggles in. So the fact that he was able to not only hit from mid-range but long range was just completely foiled the Warriors' game plan, and especially without Draymond being in the game. You can find Phil on Twitter at Phil Steele 042. Now, Phil, you mentioned the preseason expectations. Tennessee's a team that has a lot of those heading into the season. Where do you specifically have them in your top 25 rankings heading into the fall?
I have them winning the East and number 7 in the country. And in my power poll, they actually come in number 6 in the country, and that's the overall talent level of the team.
Phil, today is the official on-sale date for your college football magazine. Just talking about, I saw people on Twitter today calling it Phil Steele Day. Big day across supermarkets everywhere. What all can we expect to find in your magazine?
The great thing is status quo. You can expect to find 3 to 4 times the amount of information any other college football preview.
On Periscope, Clint says, if Tennessee pulls off another miracle, does Trey Smith sign? That's a good question for you, Teran.
No. Wait, does he sign at the end or does he sign right after?
I mean, yeah, if Tennessee beats Alabama, you think Trey Smith signs?
I think regardless of the outcome, Trey Smith signs. He's not going to sign until...
He's going to sign somewhere.
Okay, with Tennessee, I think he's going to sign with Tennessee regardless of what happens this weekend. Cody, we were talking about this just a little before the show. He's taking officials to Alabama next week when they play A&M, to Notre Dame when they play Virginia Tech, and then to Ohio State when they play Michigan. That Ohio State game is going to be an incredible atmosphere, but no, Trey Smith is staying home. That is my prediction. You can bet the bank on that. He's staying home in Tennessee in mid-December. He will commit to the Volunteers. Thank you for a great show, Sam Productions. Thank you, Brent, for calling in. Everybody for listening. This has been Drive Time with Teran and Cody on 1180 The VLZ. We'll see you next week. Have a blessed week.